What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. So here we are. We find ourselves in Game 5, the most pivotal game of the series, I think. Usually, if we go by statistics, whoever wins this game usually wins the series. But there has been instances where it's been, kind of hit or miss with that, but very rare, you know what I mean? So I would say this is a really huge game for the Clippers. I mean, probably the biggest of their season or in the playoffs so far that they've had, the biggest game they've had this year, I'll say that. And they're going to have to find a way to win this game. It's going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be really, really tough because now you're going into that altitude where it's hard to win anyway. They have a good fan base in Denver, and Denver just came off of a dramatic win, and they might really feed off that energy. And honestly, Denver's going to try to come out and beat you by 30-plus points the way you dominated them in Game 3. They're going to come out and try to make a statement, and the Clippers going to have to be able to withstand it, take the punch, withstand the punch, and come back with an uppercut and knock out the Denver Nuggets. That's basically how it's going to have to go. You're going to get punched in the mouth going in there because they're hyped, they're ready, and they're ready to make a statement for their fans, which is understandable because, they feel like they got the momentum back in their favor. The best thing that can happen to the Clippers is the fact that they know, or the best thing the Clippers have in their favor is they know the last game they played in Denver, they won it. But they won it on a Kawhi Leonard virtuoso. And honestly, Kawhi's going to have to at least have 30-plus points in this game. I think he will, or at least I hope he will. But regardless of Kawhi having 30-plus points, games like these, playoff games, but a lot of people don't realize, a lot of people do, maybe do, but in playoff games, it's all about the other guys that really helps you win games. The stars are going to be stars. The stars are going to factor each other out because they're stars. They're superstars. They do this. They know. They do their job at the highest levels when it's their time to do so most of the time. But the question with the Clippers is, are the Norman Powells, are the DJs, the Chris Dunns, are those guys going to step up offensively to give Kawhi help? Or is it going to be a balance, with the team the way it's supposed to? Now, I feel like Zubac will step up as well, but, we have to see exactly how it goes. Of course, I think Denver's definitely going to try to get him in foul trouble. But if I were Zubac, I would definitely, any opportunity, go at Jokic and get him in foul trouble and take him out the game. Because without Jokic on the floor, their offense suffers because they just don't have that big threat that they have in him who can do everything. And it makes them, very, very tough to beat. So this preview of this game, or this game that's coming up tonight, is not only big in so many ways for the Clippers, but I mean, it's big for their just for their franchise in general. You know what I mean? And I know it's going to be tough. That altitude is hard to play in. I mean, you see the last game where Kawhi had the virtuoso, he was gassed damn near in that fourth quarter because he put so much energy in to try to keep his team there and in the game. And, he just wouldn't let Denver win. And I hope we have another one of those games tonight because the Clippers can win this game if they get balanced scoring. If they get balanced scoring, they're a dangerous team with the elite defense they play as a team. If they get balanced scoring, it is hard to beat the Clippers. It just is. So that's the best thing the Clippers got in their favor is their defense. Chris Dunn has been doing a good job on Murray and whoever he switched on. And the Clippers just need more from their bench. They just really do. I mean, this is one of those games to me also where Bogey has to have about 12 to 15 points. Bogey can't come out in a game like this and have anything under double digits. He just can't. Because honestly, if Bogey was giving them 12 to 15 points consistently this whole series, the Clippers would be up 3-1. Hell, they might even have won the series by now. Who knows? But I'm just saying, if they got consistent numbers out of him, who kind of makes up for what Norman Powell doesn't do. Because, I mean, if Norman Powell doesn't have a good game, let's say Norman Powell has 15 points and he kind of struggles. But if Bogey has 15 points, well, that's 30 points right there. That's in your favor, even though your third best player struggled, your fourth or fifth best player in the starting lineup kind of balanced it a little bit. So, I mean, this is why I said the role players are so important in playoff games. It's not really even about the superstars sometimes. The superstars are going to factor each other out. As I said before, they're going to factor each other out because they're stars. They know what to do when the time comes. But the role players got to play their role to the highest. And the Clippers, I don't know what motivation speech that Ty Lue gave them before this game, but I hope it was a damn good one because they're going to need every bit of it. And they're going to have to go out here and try to make a statement against this team once again. They're going to have to, because this is going to be one of those games where it can go really bad really fast. I mean, they could, be down by 25, 30 points easily in a game like this. The good thing about the Clippers is they were down 22 points in their home court, and they came back and damn near won that game. But they didn't, so we can't really talk about that much. But still, this is one of those games where, I mean, Ty Lue is going to have to be able to make adjustments within game. Because even though the Denver Nuggets don't have Mike Malone anymore, they still have a lot of Mike Malone's, characteristics of how he coached and, how he, put them in position to play. They still have a lot of that in their locker room because they've won a championship as this team has constructed. Now, they're going to have to make sure they take care of the basketball at the highest level. This has got to be this game right here. I want to see the Clippers have the lowest turnover output that they've had this whole series. That's pretty much how it's going to have to be. Any turnover is going to hurt. Any loose possession is going to hurt. You gotta do that, and you gotta stay out of foul trouble as much as possible. And you gotta just hope that Kawhi has one of those virtuoso games as well, because every one of these games that came down to 2 points, 3 points. It's just one of those type series. So you're gonna need your best out of everybody. And last but not least, they're gonna need a great game, not a good game. They need a great game from James Harden. James Harden can't come out like last game where a lot of people is not even really talking about it, where he comes out and, he doesn't score over 20 plus points. 15, 17, 11, that's not going to be good enough. The Clippers need 23 plus points from James Harden this game. If James Harden has anything in him that says he wants to win, he has to have 23 plus. He has to have 23 plus points this game for the Clippers to win. And Kawhi has to have somewhere around 30 plus, which we're not really too much worried about Kawhi, because Kawhi just, he just is what he is. I mean, he was a big part of the reason why they came back last game. His defense, he does so many things to affect the game. Kawhi can score 26 points and play such good defense on the other end, it could balance out where his team still gets the victory. But James Harden is one I worry about more than anybody else, even more so than Norman Powell, than any other player on the team, because he is the star player that can really shift this whole series, because everybody pencils in what Kawhi is going to do because Kawhi is just that great. But James Harden is the one that's shaking. Last game, he needs a bounce back from last game. That performance last game wasn't good enough. If he scores 23 plus points last game, it doesn't even come. The Clippers win that game. They mount the comeback and actually win. You know what I mean? But James Harden, I just don't trust him in big moments. And he's played good, pretty good up until this point. Last game was a disappointing outing. Hopefully he comes back this game and really cook, because if he doesn't, it kind of won't really matter too much what Kawhi does, unless Kawhi gets like a 23, 25-point game from a Norman Powell and maybe a 17-point game from a Bogey. And, Zubac has a monster game, maybe like 20 and 16. That might be the only way they'll win this game if James Harden don't come out playing the way he's supposed to. Now, hopefully he does. Hopefully they can find a way to pull this out, but it's looking like this series is going 7 games. I mean, I really hope that the Clippers ended in 6. I hope the Clippers win the night and take it back home and put the nail in the coffin on this Denver Nuggets team. I really hope they do. I really hope they do, because I would love to see Kawhi go further in the playoffs. It's been some years since we've seen Kawhi have an opportunity to go further in the playoffs and just be healthy. So, Clipper Nation definitely has something to root for, just not only just in the team, but just the fact that Kawhi is healthy, and hopefully we can, keep him healthy, and hopefully they can extend their opportunity in the playoffs by ending this series, in the next two games and go on to the next. So we'll see what happens. Great game in the making. It's definitely fireworks. It's just been the best series, I think, in the NBA this year, in the NBA playoffs. It's just been the best series by far. Not even close. Other series are great. Not hating on other series, but this one right here, you can put an asterisk beside this series. That's just how good it's been. That's how entertaining it's been. And hopefully the Clippers role players outplay Denver's role players, because honestly, that's really going to make the difference in not only this game, this pivotal game 5, but it's going to make the ultimate difference in this series.